babysitting sorry. To do that, sorry.
Okay.
But she's babysitting her, taking care of her grandbaby, so she won't be on for today.
Okay, cool.
But we can get started. If you want to do the introduction, we can.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of got caught off guard, but
Right?
yeah, yeah, me and Shannon hold these Zooms every week. If you guys want to join us, Shannon's emails in the description box where we talk about non-duality, spirituality. We talk about everything. It's an open space. And if you ever, well, guys, anybody wants to join us, just reach out and you can get started, Shannon.
So has anything interesting happened for you throughout since the last time we talked?
Um, just like the it seems like when there's a processing happen, let's say I'm having like some sort of disagreement with somebody, it just once it's out of my mouth, it just like disappears, and it's just was so prevalent this week. It was like blah blah blah. I had like all these things to express, and then I don't even remember what I said, and it was just so the other person wanted to talk about it. And I was just like, oh, like I was just like, oh, I said that. Like I was just completely like blanked out. So
Yeah.
there's times where it just there's blanks out, and there's so many different things that happen. But you're the interesting one. You got the juicy stuff all the time. So how about you this week?
Oh, God, I don't know. I just feel like I never catch a break. I'm busy all the damn time, and it's my family.
Yeah.
I've never been this involved in my life, but since I've quit my job and just doing little side things now, like DoorDash and stuff like that, I have more time on my hands. I don't know if it's because I have time on my hands that this is happening to me, but it seems like no matter where I turn now, it's like life is so full on in my face now that I can't even fucking get away. I was literally like about to cry today because I was doing a reading on Leo. And because I'm a Leo moon, I sometimes resonate with Leo readings. And the reading that I was doing was basically saying that, like, you need to kind of take a step back and, like, put yourself first. And this is something that I am struggling with because of the trauma that comes up about worrying about my grandchildren all the time. So that's the only reason why I haven't stepped back. But it's all the time. It's always something going on. I've never had this much turmoil happen in my life like it has lately, besides the whole twin flame thingy. This shit right here, it's like traumatic. All the constant worry of my grandchildren, that's my main issue. I think if I could kind of like, if that would just kind of dissolve and go away, you know how you can't get away from it, it just keeps coming up all the time. The trauma, like worry, I'm always having that narrative come up about like, what if this happens and that happens and this happens and that happens, and that's what holds me back. And I don't have a
I
life.
feel like people think that once you go in the non-dual space and you have a realization or whatever that um all of that shit goes, but that was a rude awakening to me that it actually shows up in your face, like all up in your face, like like it's
Yeah.
like I can't, and you can't get away. There's no escaping. And if you're thinking about your trauma, you're thinking about the trauma. You can't control your thoughts,
Mm-mm.
and it's just happening, and it's a lot. But I have something to tell you. I mean, I know that once we get out of this, I mean, we're in the realization that some of us think that astrology has no place in it. But I'm a believer. I'm a believer that, the energies we're still in the illusion.
It's like tarot, like the energy of tarot. It's like it to me when the shit comes up, it seems so real because it's really speaking to you and telling you like this is what's happening.
Yeah, we're still here. So the planets, I think, still affect us. But for you, you're a Taurus and Jupiter just went into Taurus. And that just amplifies your life. Like it just, that's why you're feeling like, what the hell's going on? Because you're a Taurus and Jupiter just went into Taurus, and Jupiter is like this, the biggest, oldest planet, not the biggest, but the oldest planet. And it just, it's a lot. So I think that's why you're feeling that way. But overall, I mean, shit is just in our face, and there's bad times, but there's good things too, because
Oh
we,
yeah.
yeah, there's such, I mean, I would never regret having this realization, but the bad shit is like leave me alone, but it is what it is. So there's
Yeah,
nothing we can do.
there's no getting out of it, really. And I came across this thing right here, and it says a lot of people are obsessed with ascending, the spiritual shit, but have not yet mastered grounding. I don't feel like there is a master of grounding any fucking thing. Yeah, like I said, sometimes I'll say my little mantras if it's really dark for me and I just want it to kind of mellow out a little bit. Knowing, not knowing, but realizing, noticing that there's nothing that I can do to make it completely fucking disappear, because that's never going to happen. But for it to like, a little, like tone it down a little bit, yeah, you can do that, but that's a tool. That's just a tool that a person can use, but it's not there to make it permanently go away.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as fucking grounding, dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, shit is still gonna happen. It's still happening. I, what's come up for me this week as well is like, so I have like family drama all the time, and
yep.
I'm watching their chaos, and I'm like, I can't do anything about it. They can't do anything about it. It's just what's happening, and it breaks my heart to see like my brother act a certain way or hurt people or hurt himself. And I'm just like, well, I don't even know what to say anymore, because that's just life happening. And we have to like, I mean, I accept, I guess, the fact that shit is happening and you can't control people. I used to think that I can help people and control people and guide people, but you can't do shit. Shit is just happening by itself, and there's no cause. There's just chaos.
Yeah.
Like, and it's kind of sad sometimes to see people do bad things to themselves or put them in a position that they're not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. We sound like Debbie Downers today.
Well, because it is what it is. I mean, this stuff happens with everyone, but people are so like, oh, you should be positive or you should be at a higher vibration. Oh man, this is real life shit that's appearing to happen. And isn't it weird that it's with family? Like mine is my family, my
Mine's my family.
brother,
So when
my
I
daughter.
so when I was on the spiritual path, I wanted to get away from my family. I wanted to escape that narcissistic dynamic and escape it, and that's why I went on the spiritual path too, not just because of my twin, but because of
Mhm.
that. And then when I woke up, I was like, these bitches are still in my face. They're still doing
Mhm.
the same shit. I'm not exactly affected the way I used to be 100%, because I used to be like, oh my God. But I'm like, nothing's changed. It's like, it's
Mm-mm.
different, but it's the same. Like life still happens, and our families, we can't get away from them. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that want to not deal with their families too.
Don't they have you realize that it's like it's gotten worse with the family? With
Yeah.
me, it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Me too.
It's there's more of like a noticing now, you know what I mean? Like what's really going on? Like you're just like, oh God. I got what the fuck has happened? You
Yeah.
know?
The closer your connection, the more intense the feeling is. Yeah, and it's just has not got any better after realization. And there's some speakers that talk about, oh, now I look at my mom with rose
love.
colored glue. Yeah. And I'm like, I mean, I kind of accept them differently, but they still doing some crazy ass shit that I can't stand, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Like literally, I mean, I've had issues with my friends and shit, but it's almost like they've drowned it out in the background and it's all my fucking family. That's all that goes on in my life right now. It's like a revolving. I was just telling John, because John's good. He usually works. He's at work, but he's taking the day off. He got up early in the morning and I thought, yeah, I know your ass. You're like, fuck, let me get up here before shit starts cracking off because it's always my family.
Oh my
He's
God.
like, got up early. He's like, let me get the fuck out of here before shit starts happening.
Before the drama starts.
Yeah, because he gets pulled in. We live together, so my family kind of leaks onto him too. You know what I mean? But John, I feel like has been sheltered a lot as a kid, so he really didn't get. I think his parents kept him away from what they were going. If they were going through anything, I feel like they hid that from him. So he never got to witness. And I told him, I said, this is normal
And
life.
now,
I said, this is real life shit. I said, everybody goes through it. I said, but I feel like because your parents sheltered you and hid you from that, you weren't able to really see, like, this is what families do. Like, they fight, they argue,
yeah,
they
yeah.
have dysfunctionalness. But to him, it's a shock to him because he's never witnessed it like that. And
Poor
I told him, I
guy.
said, maybe you were meant to meet me so that you could witness that. You know, I don't know really, but if there's a reason we've been friends for as long as we have, because you haven't never been around. He's been like coddled, like sheltered, you know.
Yeah,
And
and
I was like, I'm
family.
not being rude. I'm not trying to be rude or tell you like, oh, John, you know, you were babied or whatever like that. But I feel like his parents did kind of shelter him from stuff that he, yeah, now he's out like in the real world and seeing things that actually really do go on.
Yeah, yeah. And families get wild. Like me and my family, we blow up on each other. There's drama
Right?
all. Yeah, I'm tired of this shit. I thought it was gonna disappear after awakening. I was like, oh, it's gonna be gone. I'm gonna be in a fifth dimension consciousness, and there was gonna be nothing that touches me, and I was just gonna be this beam of light. It's like
Yeah.
completely opposite. It was like, come back. Let me tell you something. You're gonna face all of it, and it's gonna be in your face. You know,
Right?
it's like, yeah, it was such a rude awakening. It wasn't the awakening I thought it was gonna be.
You know what? Yes, me and my daughter, she's the worst. She came in the house like a fucking storm, yelling and screaming at everybody. And then she walks out the door in my neighborhood yelling. And I said, you know what? And I fall behind her. I said, you're nothing but a fucking dick. We got neighbors, you know, and or like I said, John has to witness all of this. And she's like, well, what am I? Oh, that's what I am to you. That's what I am. I said, yes, you are. I said, you're from the fucking ghetto. I said, oh,
Oh
that's
my
how it is.
god.
But
Yeah.
this is, you know, but I know now, like, there's nothing before I would
Yeah.
think that's not normal. Like, you can't,
Mm.
that's not natural. But it is what it is. Like, this is, everyone does it. But social media, the only thing people ever show on social media is the good shit. They never show the shit that they're going through. They don't ever show like the issues and the problems that they're having. It's always the vacations they've been on or all the good stuff that they have going on in their family. But behind closed doors,
You
you
know,
know.
before we were like insecure about our family dynamic.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? I mean, it is what it is because that's what's happening and nobody's controlling it and nobody's doing it. So you want to blame it on God? What do you want to do? I don't know. You know, like you can't say that either. So you just accept things for what they are. But like, you're right. I was like, oh, this shouldn't happen. I want to go on the spiritual path to not, deal with this. And then I got out of it and I'm like, oh shit, it's still here.
Oh
It's
yeah.
still happening.
My
It's
brother,
never gonna go away.
like my brother, you know, he can't even come visit me without ripping me the fuck off. because he's on, he's an addict. So, but I love him. He's my brother, and I want to help him. So I let him come over, and he just ends up ripping everybody off in the house. Like, it's awful. I can't even have him at my house anymore.
Yeah, my brother's an addict too, so I
Yeah.
completely understand. So it's like, you can't, you lose trust for them.
Yes.
You have no trust inside, and then they're always chaos with them. You don't know where
Yes.
they are and what's happening, and it's unpredictable. And I ran away to the spiritual path to get away from that pain, but that's just still happening, girl. It's still happening.
Well, that's why I with this little meme that said, you people are trying to sin, but they just need to ground them. No, there ain't no fucking grounding. Where there's dark, there's always gonna be light. If there's light, there's dark. There's no, and whatever, however the spiritual, community says it, which I agree with them on that, because you can't have one without the other. It's always gonna happen, right? It's like, don't you think about it. My cat's trying to find a way up here. Stay right there. But yeah, no, it's there's no escaping it.
Yeah.
There's none. There's no ascending. Yes, can you mellow the shit out a little bit by taking a pill or trying to do some people do substance to get away from shit. Yeah, it may subside it for a fucking minute, but that shit's still gonna come up,
And we don't even know what's going to come up. you know
right?
we have no idea. We think, control is out of the question.
Yeah,
once
there's no
you
control.
Yeah, once you've had a realization, control, you realize it's gone. There is no control. Shit's happening with the way the hell it wants to happen. And all your hopes and dreams of wanting something different, even your twin, you wanted to be with your twin, that didn't happen. You were
Right.
doing all of this for me. I was doing all of it to get out of my family dynamic. That didn't happen. You don't gain anything. You don't get to be in a consciousness level where you're flowing with Jesus and fly. Yeah, those things happen on the path, but when you're out of it, you're like, you're back here. You're just back here, and this is
Yeah.
it. And when they say this is it, this is it. Meaning,
Anything
whatever,
goes.
anything goes. Anything goes.
Look, I pulled into the parking lot of a church yesterday. When I pulled in, normally I
Anything
get
goes.
this. Yeah, but like normally when I pull in, I'd be like, feel this little peace. Like I feel like, oh, a church, yes. I pulled in that motherfucker, and I thought, oops, sorry, not staying, just pulling in and pulling out because I had to, I got lost, and I ended up in the church parking lot. Believe, yeah.
But you
But
don't
I was
get
like,
peace
oops,
any
not
you
staying.
don't you don't
Huh?
get you don't get the peace anymore, the hope
No.
that things are gonna change, or you're somehow gonna get past this. No, you might not get past it, and you might get past. I mean, it is. There's no better word than it is what it is, and this is it. And whether it's good or bad, it's just that's.
Yeah. You accept it for what it is. And that's how my life has been. And it's been so days go by fast for me because I'm not paying attention because there's so much going on. Like it's just quick. Everything's so quick now for me. It's just insane over here. But anyways, I was gonna get on the 10 twin flame topic because I came across some things. And
Mm,
it says, always remember your twin flame's higher self wants union as much as you do. And I used to believe there was such thing as a higher self.
me
And I
too.
always felt like the higher self was that higher level, the consciousness and all that. I don't even know what the consciousness is anymore. I don't even know what that is. But in the story, if I'm in the story, I would say that the higher self is you being naturally who you are. You're just being
Yeah.
naturally who you are. It had nothing to do with being a saint or a god. It was just you naturally being you. But a spiritual person will think, oh, you have to be a saint. You have to reach this higher level. And there are no levels, there are no higher self. It's just you being you. But as far as the union goes, you're already there and you're already it. And there's no separate thing here.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no
Because
separateness. You know what I
yeah.
mean? We don't know what that is. We don't know what anything is really. It's just, it is what it is. But yeah, I came across that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. There is no, I mean, I used to believe that too with my twin because I had a soul to soul connection with the twin, right? But then
Yeah,
when you have a realization, you realize that there's no soul either. So it's all just one and there's no other. And then,
no,
and you don't gain, I don't know, in my case, I don't know everybody's case. I didn't gain my twin back when I had realization. Like they put this thing out there as when you ascend, you get your twin back. They'll come back to you.
yeah,
Mine said bye, so I mean, it's just for me it's sad because they have this that they make it a seeking thing,
yeah.
and I went through it too. I went through the whole thing. I was seeking, I was doing it, but uh,
I've come to a place now where I accept things for what it is. It is what it is, and everything's neutral.
yeah.
Everything, because I accept whatever is appearing to happen. And in the story, they would say, okay, that would be you reaching this higher level, right? In the story. And then that's when your twin flame comes. But here we are.
And no
That
one's
there's
there.
nothing. Yeah, there's just nothing happening over here. And I'm here to say there's no telling. Like, you could do whatever you want. There's no magic pill or there's no nothing that can make that twin flame appear. It is what it is. And if they do come around, it's because they came around. And a lot of people will say it's an energetic thing that they come when your energy's neutralized and all that shit. But
I mean, our energy has been neutralized, maybe a year now or whatever, and no one's been here. No,
no one, not a fucking. Now,
no,
I
no.
will say there's signs. Like, I do see in the story, I see signs of the twin, like signs when I'm like, okay, because I'm seeing it more now because maybe I am more neutral
Yeah.
and it's more like in my face more so now. I don't know though, because look at you and you say you
I,
don't see signs. So that's, I don't know. I just think that things appear to happen the way they just happen. Because
yeah,
Monique, the
there's
same thing. She sees signs all the time, like I do. And that's something we have a lot in common.
so
But
yesterday I saw all the numbers.
okay.
Yesterday. Everywhere I was looking, 4 4, 11 11, all, and I haven't seen them for like 4 months or whatever. And I was just like, oh my God, here they are. And I signs and crosses and this and that. And then just went away. And I don't know. I don't know what that was for.
Yeah.
I used to be like, oh my God, I'm ascending to the new ascension, and I'm almost there and he's coming back. And I don't know any story I had.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, okay, I see them. And I don't know what they mean. I did want to
I
Google
don't.
the age old numbers I wanted, but I was like, whatever. It is what it is.
I was with my daughter and she's really into that, the signs. Like, she'll say like certain, like when she sees something happen, she'll go, oh God, mom, that has to mean something. I said, does it? Because, and then she kind of looks at me because she knows that's something that I was really into. And now I'm not that way. And
Mm,
I naturally just said that. I was like, does it? Because I really forgot.
yeah, yeah.
I forgot, and she was like, well,
But we
yeah, mom.
used to. We used to be
Yeah.
like, oh my God. It's like, I mean, we were following the signs.
Do
Like they
you
were
find
little
that
arrows for us.
is it harder for you to talk now more so? Because with me, like, I can't get words out sometimes.
So I had a little discussion with my boyfriend. And then the next day we were talking about it. And I go to him, ah, like I, I can't say anything. I couldn't talk. I couldn't like speak words out of my mouth. Like I get blank and quiet. And I just stayed quiet. And he's like, "Oh, you forgot about it already?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like I just, it's harder for me to speak sometimes.
I can't even like pronounce certain words. Or if I'm trying to explain something, I can't like,
Yes.
and I'm like, what's going on with me? Because literally, I can't like certain words, I stumble over them when I'm trying to explain something. And my daughter will kind of just look at me like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, but I can't like,
I feel like
oh,
blah
it's
blah.
weird.
Yeah, like I can't pronunciate.
Yes, you can't pronounce them.
Yeah, yeah,
And it only happens here and there.
yeah, yeah.
I'll get like a brain fart, what they would call it. Like I literally cannot like, and I know what I want to say, but I can't get the pronounce the words right or anything. And I'm like, is it? Is this what's gonna happen? Do you know? Do you realize the further on we go, the
Yeah.
more it's like
I know.
things are.
I love that. Like we're doing like we can compare like as we go because
Yeah.
like it's a lonely. I can't say I'm lonely because I'm not lonely, but it's a lone journey, right? Like you just feel like you can't really talk to your friends about this stuff or like everybody, they kind of think you're crazy, but
Oh yeah.
it's great to see that, yeah, I'm having pronunciation issues
Wow.
and
Yeah.
also words. Sometimes I can't speak about certain subjects or I just blah, I feel like I blank out or
Blank out. Yeah.
mhm,
Like
mhm.
there's times when I want to talk to my daughter about her issues. Like we'll go back and forth about the things that she's going through with that guy. And then sometimes I can't even get the words out. Like I just can't do it. Like I don't know. It's just I've noticed a change. I have.
I feel
There's
like it's
things,
deeper acceptance, so you can't really talk about certain things sometimes. You're just like, what are you gonna say? You
right?
know, you know that there's nobody there doing what she's doing. So what are you supposed to like? I still say things to my family, but then I'm like, they're not even doing it. Like, what am I supposed to say?
Like none of this is even happening.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
or if it's like none of it's like and even happening is saying too much because we don't even know. Like it's just blah.
yeah.
We can't even describe anything that's going on because we don't know like anything that's going on. We just don't know. But in the story, it is all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I don't know, man. I found something else. It says when you surrender to your twin flame, you're allowing the universe to work through you to complete your twin flame destiny. And there is no destiny. There's nothing to get to. There's nothing to get to. There, you will never. It's not a destiny. You end up with your twin flame? Possibly. There are some that do, but it's not a destiny, though. I don't know what you call that. It's just being, I guess.
When I was on the path and I had a Kundalini experience and I knew that my twin flame was my destiny.
Yeah.
I don't know what destiny means now. I don't know anything. It just you're just completely like that. It's a person thing that believes in destiny. It's a
Yeah.
person thing that believes in getting somewhere. When that person falls off or you have your realization, none of that exists anymore. None of
Yeah.
it. It's just soul, destiny, seeking, getting somewhere. There's nowhere to get anymore. We don't live our lives having these goals the way we used to. It's like full acceptance or something of yourself and life and
It's so spontaneous. You don't have time to wait for a destiny because it's just so like everything's just like
happening.
you don't have time to be there's nothing to get to. You know what I mean? It's just happening. Everything's just happening.
Yeah,
And
there's
it's
no
fast.
hope, there's no goal, there's nowhere to get to, there's no let's wait for this to get better and then we'll start something. This is no more.
Yeah.
Just completely falls off.
Yeah. It's
I love
crazy.
it sometimes, but when it's bad, I hate it.
Oh gosh, yeah, I know. And over here, it's been
Been heavy on you.
yes. It's like when I get that peace that comes over me, then whoop, here comes the bad stuff again. I was doing good all morning. I thought, oh yes, I'm gonna do my little Zoom meeting with the girls. I'm gonna have my coffee, blah blah blah, just relax. And then my daughter messages me,
Drama.
Mom, yeah, Mom, can you come get me and the kids? Can you watch the kids while I go make this money and blah 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 blah? And I'm like, God damn. And I automatically say yes because I'm afraid she's gonna give them to him because she gets so desperate. And I don't want to lose my babies.
So there's like more responsibility on you now
Yes.
because of this trauma, because of this relationship and what's happening. You're the one that's taking on more responsibility because you don't want the kids with him.
With him.
And that's not fair to you, you
It's
know?
not. And
And
I
that's
don't know
why
what
it's a
to
lot.
do. I don't want to live that. I don't want to live walking around not knowing what's going on with my grandbabies while they're with him because he won't give them back.
Yeah, yeah.
He says he will. That's what he does.
And so people think that when you go on this ascension journey and you go in and wake up, that you're going to get away from these dysfunctional things. No, life, I'm in
No,
the same
yeah.
boat. My mom keeps bugging me to do things for her. I'm like, dude, I have my own life. Like, because I was like in a codependent situation. It's still happening.
Yep.
And I don't want to say no because she's older now and I don't want her to be around my brothers. That's like an addict. So I'm always in the middle of that shit because I'm worried about my mom, just like you're worried about your grandkids. But that's dysfunctional. But guess what? That's it, you know? And it's like, but you think that you're going to be like floating above air, you know, and not being in the middle of these situations that cause a headache and heartache for us. And it's still, we're still here.
It's
Same
like,
shit.
okay, but it's like, what can we do though? Like,
I feel like we
to
could
not
set
feel so
stronger
bad.
I think we could
Yeah.
set stronger boundaries, but at the same time, you know, your family's your family and your heart hurts more for them or your
Yeah.
grandkids. Yeah.
Because I'm literally trying to contemplate in my mind, like, God, something's got to give. I can't keep going on like this because I don't have a life. I almost cried because, like, when I get peace, this happens. I don't ever have time to myself. And when I do, it's like for a little while. Like, I got to spend time with my friends for my birthday. We got to do, but then right after that, I had to be with my grandbabies. So it's like, and I love my grandbabies. I do, but it's a lot. I'm 50 years old. I
Yeah.
just turned 50. I'm not young anymore like I used to be. And I don't have it in me like I used to. But and I try to explain that to my daughter. I said, I need some time. It's not healthy on my body.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she doesn't get it. It's like
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
family don't get it for you, you know? It's
They
like
don't
it's
even hear me.
unhealthy.
Yeah. They don't even hear me. And then I don't know. I mean, I had like a breakdown a month ago and I put really strong boundaries with my sister, but that shit's still happening over here. Yeah, I'm getting attacked by brother, sister, mom. You know,
See?
I have too many, but I had enough with my sister and I put some boundaries, stronger boundaries, but that doesn't mean I'm not hurting inside. You
Yeah.
know, I still feel bad that I had to put like a big boundary up. I feel guilty, you know, inside, but I want my peace.
Right?
I want my time for myself, my relationship, my work, you know, the taking over my space, you know? It's like so I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you I don't know, maybe you'll get sick of it and put a boundary, maybe you won't. Maybe who knows? We don't know.
We don't know.
Even when I
I
say
am done.
yes,
I am tired. I want
when I
to.
when I say yes, like tonight I'm going to see my mom. I'm driving, sleeping over. She lives kind of far away. And I'm like, why did I say yes? Why did I say yes? But it came out of my mouth. So I don't,
And you
I
really
can't
don't
take,
want to. Yeah.
I can't take back my yes, but that's what happened. So you also don't even have control over yourself. Like there's no more, but
Even
you
if you
think, But
Yeah.
you think you're like, why did I do that? But I still did it, but I can't take it back even if I wanted to. And it's like, it's confusing sometimes.
There is no, we used to believe in the story that we had control over our bodies and that
Yeah.
we were the ones controlling everything that we did, but we don't know that now. We don't know what's happening. We don't know why things, we don't know anything. So things that do happen, it's like, did I just do that? Like I
Mm,
remember just saying I'm really fixated on my diet because I've gained some weight
me too.
and God, and I keep telling
After a
myself,
realization, I gained weight because
well,
you're
it's like,
lazier.
yeah, and all I want to do is eat. And then I'll tell
Yeah.
myself, don't eat at night. And I end up going and getting a bag of chips and eating it. And even John's looking at me going, because he knows what I just said, but I'm like, oh fuck you, shit, I'm hungry.
Yeah. And then you can't even control that because
Yeah,
that's just what's happening.
you
But
can't.
then you really can't. But then you can, and then the next day I get a little better with my food. But then if I mess up again, I mess up again. I don't know. I don't have discipline like I used to.
No discipline.
Uh, yeah, like I don't have a goal to reach anymore. But then sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll get up and hike, but it's just not the way I used to. I used to be like so strict and so working out, and I
But you're just doing it though. There's no one doing it. I mean, it's just happening. You're going on a hike
yeah,
and you're thinking
everything's just
like, I
happening.
did that. But no, like,
That's just what happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how it's been over here too. Like everything is just, like I told myself I wasn't going to give in to my daughter. And I did. Right after this, and that's why I messaged you. I was like, well, let me just get on a Zoom real quick before I go. Because
Well,
it had been a while.
the reason you're giving in to your daughter is that you don't want to feel the pain
I
and the
don't.
fear of them not being with you. So you keep giving in, but that's heavy load, Shannon, because I know how that feels.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with it. It's like I can't live my life like in fear of this.
Yeah.
That's why you're just overwhelmed. We're having a therapy session today on our Zoom.
Yeah, I needed it because I literally almost broke down here. I'm
Yeah.
like, God, I really don't have a life. So,
What bothers me the most is they interrupt my schedule.
yes,
So, I tell them like, who are you? I don't understand. I don't call you guys and just put shit on you. You just throw shit. Like I didn't know I was gonna go see my mom today. Like I had my day planned to do
I
my
did
stuff,
too.
and then I need you, blah blah blah. And I'm like, everything I used to fight against before is still here. It shit. It is what it is. I wish there was like a course for people. It is what it is. That's the end result. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I know we got a minute and 16
Mhm.
seconds left, but I think we should get on here more often though. I'm gonna try Wednesday. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
if you
maybe.
are available sometime during Wednesday.
Yeah,
Um,
I think Thursday's better. I don't know. Just text me. We'll see.
I'll text you and we'll touch bases. But this was
Feel
fun.
better. Love you. Call me if you need me.
Yes, love you too. I'll
Okay,
talk to you
bye.
soon. Bye bye.